She tweets, Jack Smith errantly claimed that Trump was a flight risk to convince Judge Beryl Howell to prevent Trump from knowing about the Twitter search warrant. Beryl Howell agreed that Trump would flee from prosecution. Writing, the district court also found reason to believe that the former president would flee from prosecution. The government later acknowledged, however, that it errantly included flight from prosecution as a predicate in its application. What? They have already laid the groundwork to remand Trump to custody under the idea that he will flee if they try to convict him. And so this is what I was saying before. If the charges against Donald Trump are legitimate, if they genuinely believe it, Trump would be locked up right now. They would not let him leave. The man owns several jets, helicopters. He's a billionaire. He has buildings with his name on it. He owns buildings all over the world. He could go to any one of these countries. He has the absolute capabilities to flee. The only reason he wouldn't is because he's running for president. But they have made the argument already. We're getting this information out of the Twitter revelation that they're trying to seek information from his Twitter account. They're actually arguing now that Trump's going to try and flee. So how long until they remand him to custody? How long until they make the argument that Trump should not be free and then they stop him from campaigning?
I don't know. I thought that they were not going to do that. This just came out today that they errantly included flight from prosecution as a predicate. What does that mean? They accidentally had his flight risk in there and then they took it out?
I think what they're saying is they did not mean to include that they feel that Trump is a flight risk when facing prosecution.
That's gotta be false. Yeah. Like, you don't make accidents at that level. Maybe they do. Maybe they do, actually. I don't know. But it seems like a convenient accident to have that piece of data on and off the record at the same time.
I think they're going to lock him up. They're trying to silence him. Trump's fighting back.
Can he still run if they lock him up?
Yeah. Yes, but he's not going to be able to go to rallies.
I mean, it sounds kind of fun, though. I'm kind of interested in that idea.
I think if they lock him up, he still wins. In fact, I think it helps him.
And I think they know.
Yes, exactly. I think they know putting him in jail is going to give him a major victory.
Look, if Elon Musk is right, that is the funniest outcome. Like,
it is.
He gets arrested and then goes to jail and then wins and pardons himself.
And pardons all the guards.
And then goes to D.C. That would be hilarious.
Yes.
But there are many people throughout history who have been jailed by their government or political rivals and then later get out and then win.
Hitler is the first one that comes to mind.
Hitler.
I was going to say Mandela.
Mandela is the other one.
Napoleon was banished, and then he came back and went right back to the revolution and started attacking again.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think there's a strong possibility they lock up Trump. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink.
I think it'd be hilarious.
They would piss off 100 million people if they did that. Like beyond, that would be the worst tactic.
Maybe that's the real conspiracy theory. That Trump really is the
trigger.
No,
the Civil War.
Oh. No, that Trump is deep state, and in order to get him to win with the support of the people, you need to make him into the martyr, into the victim that people are willing to get behind.
Interesting.
It's not that hard to imagine, though, if you think about so. Just do a thought experiment with me for a second. Imagine if Joe Biden had been president in 2020. Do you think all those red governors would have locked their states down?
Yeah. They would have been on the opposite side. They would have said, "Oh no,
Yeah, they would have been resisting the tyranny of Joe Biden. Where with Donald Trump saying, "Hey guys, we got to do this," all the red states kind of okay, whatever. So
some didn't.
It's a
word. They slowly
it's
started to turn around.
Yeah,
but the argument would be, how do you get a libertarian to vote for a Republican president?
Make him funny.
A pro law enforcement. No, you make him the martyr. You make him the persecuted. You make him the anti-establishment. You make him the anti-government. I was talking about this with Bitcoin. I was like, if I was a World Economic Forum globalist billionaire and I wanted a one world currency, how would I do it? Because we've heard that conspiracy over and over again. They're gonna make a one world government currency. Alex Jones has been talking about it for decades. I'm like, well, you got to get the crackpot conspiracy theorists to be the ones pushing and advocating for it. Because you come out against them, then you get that whole network of people paying attention to politics. They're against you and they don't want to do it. So then I see Bitcoin, and all of a sudden I see the likes of these anarchist, anti-establishment, conspiracy theorist types all saying it's the future and you have to use it. And I'm like, so this you're calling it, I don't know if they call it a currency these days or whatever, but this global financial transaction system that can be tracked by anyone at any point.
Right.
And they can know everything you're doing. and y'all are advocating for, I'm like, this is like a one world unified currency. Well, I mean, I'm like, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying, if you want a one world currency, Bitcoin's, or I should just say crypto in general, is a fast path. Especially considering they can track everything you're buying.
Yeah. I'm a gold bug, so Phil's got to defend Bitcoin.
I mean, I'm a fan of Bitcoin as well as gold and silver, and I've got a little bit of all that stuff. Yeah. I'm not a one way kind of dude. That sounds that the guys in Tower Gang are gonna punish me for that comment.
I like that you can create your own crypto and use it like locally for things, even though the government would want to take taxes from you. You can still do it, and like things like someone just texted Monero. Gustav said that in the chat. Yeah, Monero apparently is untrackable or more challenging to track.
Zcash.
What happens
like that?
What happens when they tell Trump? They say, "Where are you currently residing?" It says Bedminster, New Jersey. And they say, "Okay, don't leave the state." What about that? That's a half scenario. It's like they're not jailing him because they don't want to give him any hard political martyr benefits.
He probably would not leave the state, go nuts on social media. They're not letting me leave the state. This is unconscionable. I'm stuck here in this beautiful palace in Bedminster. But I think he would stay there and just do a lot more media, social media.
I don't know. If he went and he said that he was in Florida, I imagine he wouldn't get remanded to.
It's going to be a federal judge who says, like, we're going to release you, but you have to stay in a certain area because we want to make sure that you don't flee, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe. I do want to see this, though.
You want to see Trump arrested?
Interested. What?
I want Trump remanded to custody.
I think
what the fact that they arrested him and let him go proves they're lying about everything. They're accusing the guy of trying to overthrow the government, and they're like, you can go. Mm-hmm. Go do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting is they can't, prosecute him for war crimes because they'd be complicit in the same things they tried to go after,
And they got to go after Biden, Obama, Bush, Clinton. Oh boy, we can go all the way back.
And the let him go thing is like, we think you did a crime, but you can go. It's kind of like, here, take this package. Whatever you do, don't take it across the street to that 7-Eleven. Don't do it. And then they just watch, and they're waiting for him to take the package across the street. They're like, we just want you to flee, man. We just want you to do something to give us an excuse to crack down 100 times harder.
Trump's got a big jet. He can fly wherever he wants.
So do you think Trump will put his foot down on Ukraine? Because
Yes.
Again, I judge a man by what he does, not what he says. And, to his credit, he did talk to Putin, and he kept an open line of communication for the most part. But he also was the guy who initiated lethal aid to Ukraine. Obama, he even bragged, Obama was only sending pillows and helmets or something like that. I'm sending them missiles. And, I mean, he was responsible for a lot of the escalation. He tore up the INF Treaty, the Open Skies Treaty, So I don't know. I just don't believe what people say. I believe what they do.
I think the war ends the moment he gets elected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Putin is going to cease fire, and then he's going to say, we're waiting, and Trump's going to go, and I think a likely scenario, if Trump did get elected, is the Donbass goes to Russia, Crimea and the Donbass go to Russia, Ukraine retains everything else, fighting stops.
I mean, I would like to think that could happen because it's a very low bar. All we got to do is stop sending billions of dollars and the war ends. Which the media is even starting to admit that now that
Boris
Ukraine
Johnson
can't win
went
the
there
war.
and disrupted peace agreements.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, NATO countries want war.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think many in the West, United States particularly, are saying this is our chance to. It's a casus belli for war with Russia. We needed a way to justify war with Russia, and now we have it. But Russia needs to push harder. Russia needs to attack a NATO country so that NATO can invade Russia. That's what they want to happen. And they'll keep doing it until Russia has no choice. I wouldn't be surprised if you get NATO military forces firing from inside NATO territory at Russians. You've already got a story about a Russian strike that it was 600 feet from Romania or something like that. So we're getting dangerously close. Donald Trump is going to go in and be like, nope, no more fighting. He's going to go to Ukraine and be like, you're not getting any more money from us. And they're going to go, okay, we want peace. No more funding, no more military. They're not going to be able to support any effort against Russia.
How entangled do you think the deep state is with this war right now? How much vested interest do they have in seeing it
100%.
through? Then they'll assassinate him if he tries to stop it.
I see one.
I think you mean to say they'll try.
They'll try. They'll try over and over and over and over and over.
One big problem with your theory I have is Lindsey Graham, how close that guy still is with Trump. I mean, he is like the epitome of everything we're talking about.
I think Donald Trump wants revenge too much. When he goes in, he is going to be just screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm not saying it's absolute. I'm just saying what they've done to him now, assuming it's all on the level, raiding his house, going after his family, whatever. He's going to go and he's going to scream at these people. He's going to be like, you're weak. You stabbed me in the back. Lindsey Graham? Sure, maybe. But Lindsey Graham, what's he doing to help Trump right now? Nothing. These guys abandoned him.
Campaigned with him a little bit.
Yeah, but they abandoned him across the board. So Donald Trump may be not perfect. There's a strong possibility you get a bunch of BS. But I'll flip the coin. I think there's the best candidate right now for firing people in government. Hey, maybe it's one guy. I'll take it. It's going to be Trump.
No, I don't think so. I think it's Vivek, because he talks about you can't literally fire people. You can shut down like sectors of the government where people work, and then their jobs are dissipated and they no longer work there. You can't do individual firings. Trump didn't know that, apparently, when he was in office. He's like, I can't fire them, but he could have shut them down, and he didn't. I think he's not in a good state. I don't know. I don't want to assume too much, but it seems like Trump's not in a very good state of mind relative to 2016 when he was like, we're going to make America great. He was talking about making things great. Now he's talking about like, I'm going to go get him. You let me back in there. I'm going to get him.
Revenge.
I don't want that.
I mean,
great.
in 2016, he talked about the Federal Reserve and the bubble economy we've created and how lowering interest rates artificially is going to cause problems. And then as soon as he became president, without addressing any of it, it was instantly the greatest economy in the world. Everything's fine. So he has a way of talking about the problems when he's not in there. And then as soon as he gets in, he has awful people, talking him up and, schmoozing him and everything. And then he just kind of, I don't know, he listens to bad advice a lot. I feel like his instincts are better than the governing he's done. But, he likes flattery. He likes being worshipped. So
that's so dangerous.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.